the most dangerous word that you can utter. Seems so innocuous. Seems like a nothing thing. We say it all the time. We say it with meaning and without meaning. We say it to appease or when things really matter. It just slips past our lips like it's nothing at all. And yet, it's that thing that could be holding you back. And it seems like nothing at all. And yet, I find most of the time, that's the way. The things that do seem like nothing, that feel like nothing, that are, it doesn't matter that much. It won't matter, it's not that big a deal. How many of those it's not that big a deals do you have before, well, lo and behold, it does become that big a deal? And in this case, that cryptic word that could be completely and utterly derailing you is the word yes. As I said, it seems like nothing. An innocuous little word. A crowd pleaser. Something to help others, to help you, to appease people. But it could be the thing that is preventing you from, well, doing the things that actually matter. Because on the flip side, the most powerful word that you can utter many times is the word no. And you say no to the things that don't matter. You say no to requests for your time, for your energy, for your focus, for your everything about you. And you only say yes to the things that, well, truly do matter. Because every time you say yes to something, you are inadvertently and indirectly saying no to everything else. Every time you say yes to, well, hang out with the boys, or to go drinking, or to eat the junk food, or whatever it is, you say no to all the other potential options that are out there for a better choice. You are saying no to the other things by saying yes to that thing. As I said, and they can seem like nothing little moments. And in that one instance, in a one-off situation, and an n=1 scenario, they are nothing things. It's when you have too many of those nothing things that they escalate into massive things, into big, gigantic things that, well, actually do matter. And we need to start evaluating how flippantly we use the word yes and what we actually use it on. How valuable is that thing we're saying yes to? How beneficial, how important is it? Because that yes, well, can mean everything. And I'm not saying that you say no to everything. I'm saying that you need to become cognizant of the things that you say yes to. Because the most powerful thing you have is your time, your attention, and your energy. And what you give those things to, well, has an impact on your life. It matters. It shows up differently. It dictates how you do things. And you can use it on all the different options, all the variations out there, all things. So you could be like, this morning I said yes to a workout. That's a great option, Or you could have said, I said yes to the sleep in. I said yes to hitting snooze. I said yes to, staying up late last night. So what are the flow-on effects of those yeses? What are the continuations of those yeses? And that's what I mean about it being a dangerous word, because it's a slippery slope. It's, well, we just toss it around. We say it to things that, well, we don't really want a bar of, that we don't really want to deal with, We say it to things that we don't actually want to say yes to, but because it's easier to say yes. Nobody likes offending people. Nobody likes upsetting others. But no is a very powerful statement. And no also shows that you know the value of your time. It means also that when you do say yes, that you are showing how valuable those things are to you. That you are showing how important the things are, because you don't say yes to everything. You don't just flippantly agree to dole out your time, your energy, and your focus. You consciously think about it, and you put weight behind it, and you decide what is going to matter to you. And there's a few different variations that you can look at this by. And the first one, and this applies more if you are self-employed, if you run your own business, if you work for yourself in any capacity. And that is the question of, when you ask the question of, do I want to say yes to this? You need to know, well, how much time is your time worth? How much value do you place on your time? Is that worth your effort, your time, your commitment? And I will put a slight caveat on this, because I learned this very, very early on in business. And it can backfire a little bit on you when you start implementing this thinking. Because the caveat is also that you then utilize that time to make more money. So, for example, if we're talking about things like your zone of genius, what is it that you are best at? For me, the answer is training and coaching. That is what I am best at. That is where I shine. That is what I have been doing for, well, literally my entire adult life. And it is what I am best at. And that's what I like to spend my time on. And I'm paid well for that. I am paid well for that skill set. But within that, if I go, okay, let's say doing marketing or, doing back-end programming or setting up websites or whatever the fuck it might be, that boring admin stuff that no one likes. If I go, okay, well that needs to be done. It has to be a yes somewhere by someone. But I need to protect my time and my energy and my focus and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to say no to doing that, and I'm going to outsource that to someone else. You then need to make sure that you utilize that time and that energy saving and that intention to then better your life. Whether that's making more money, whether that's spending time with your family, whether that's improving yourself, whatever it might be. You can't then go, no, that isn't a valuable task to me. That is beneath my skill level or value of time or whatever it might be, and then turn around and waste and squander that time. If you are buying back time by delegating that, by using the powerful no instead of saying yes to everything that, as I said, does need to be done but can be utilized better by someone else, you then need to make sure that that time is invested wisely. And it's like, and that can apply to anything. That doesn't need to just be in business. But it can be, if you're going to say no to something else in your life, whether that be stuff that's boring, stuff that you don't want to do, stuff like that, you then need to make sure that you turn around and use that time and say yes to something that will improve your life. If you're going to turn down doing even things which can be fun, like drinking with the boys or whatever it is, and if you're going to make a big call and use the power of no and be like, I'm not doing that, don't then turn around and sedate in another way by sitting on the couch and doing fuck all. Go work out, go for a weighted walk, spend time with your children, spend time with your wife, spend time with those who you care about. Utilize that time. Spend it on personal development. Spend it on growing yourself. Spend it on doing these things that you are going to improve your life. If you're gonna say no, make sure that then what you do turn around and say yes to matters. Because, well, just saying no and then wasting it in a different way defeats the whole purpose of it. And this is what we need to think about. And especially when we are saying yes to things that are forms of sedation. Think about the then flow-on effect, especially for energy and focus and drive. If you're going, well, yes, I am going to, watch TV. I'm going to binge watch my favorite show. How does that derail you? Does that make you feel energized? Does that make you feel relaxed? Does that make you feel fired up? Does it reset you to allow you to go do other things? I'm reasonably certain that the answer will be no. Because TV, social media, porn, junk food, alcohol, all these forms of sedation don't rejuvenate you. They don't put energy into your basket. They don't make you feel better. They don't uplift you. They don't push you forward to be a better version of yourself. It's just avoidance. So you need to say yes to things that are going to uplift you, that are going to provide you value and allow you to excel. And I think this is one of those gaps that a lot of people struggle with, because they're like, well, I'm tired and so I need to relax. Yeah, fantastic. Make sure you do. But I'm telling you, forms of sedation where you just switch your brain off are not the answer. It needs to be engaged. And I've spoken about it before. I think it is one of the weirdest mind fucks of being human, is that things that should and we feel come naturally often don't. They require effort, they require focus, they require deliberate action to, get the most out of that. That can fall from, breathing to sleeping. I'm talking about running today, to relaxation. You need to actually make a cognizant decision to do things that are going to rejuvenate you and make you feel better. So yeah, you can have downtime. It doesn't have to be go, go, go all the time, but choose things that will actually uplift you and rejuvenate your mind. And often they are things that require a little bit of effort, but still relax you. They create satisfaction and fulfillment and peace and clarity. So options on that are things like, you could do coloring in, you could do painting, you could do, painting models or Warhammer or, D&D or, nerdy shit like that. You could build Lego or read a fiction book or whatever the fuck it might be. But things that switch off your brain completely, aka alcohol, junk food, TV, social media, porn, give you that cheap dopamine hit that you want to stay and continue having that cheap dopamine hit. Those things that turn off your brain will not rejuvenate you. So you need to think clearly about what you are saying yes to. And don't get me wrong, it's a hard transition. If you're getting to the end of the day and you are absolutely fucked, like you are just absolutely munted, and all you want to do is plop onto the couch and just turn off. I get it. I totally get it. But you're going to pay for that tomorrow. You are saying yes to just switching off in that moment, but you're saying no to being the best version of yourself. You are saying no to rejuvenating yourself and giving yourself energy for tomorrow. You need to be cognizant of the consequences of saying yes to that thing. And I'm not going to lie, that's a really hard thing to wrap your head around. That's a really hard thing to be like, okay, well, though this is the easiest option, though I feel like this will give me what I'm looking for, it actually won't. So I need to take a step back, actually focus on something that will give me the rejuvenation, the relaxation, the fulfillment, the satisfaction, the joy that I am looking for. And undertake that. That you need to understand the value of your yes, the value of your time, the value of your intention and attention. And how you use that will astronomically affect the flow on things. You know, a lot of people talk about, oh, it was just one night. It was one night of drinking or one blowout meal or whatever it is. But it has long-lasting effects. It has long-lasting flow-on effects into so many different areas of your life. And for days too. We talk about momentum. You want to say yes to momentum and no to things that will derail you. You want to make sure that you do everything in your power to keep that momentum going. You want to say yes to continuing to move forward, no matter how uncomfortable it is, no matter how hard that decision may feel in the moment. You want to say yes to continuing to progress forward. I had one this morning, so I played basketball last night. One of those things that brings me great pleasure. I'm nowhere near where I used to be back in a different life, and I'm not going to be that fucking guy who was like, back in my day I used to be someone. But the honest to God truth is that's well over a decade ago. Different life, different man. You know, I'm married and with kids now. I have a business. I work full time. I start my day at 5 a.m. With children. It's a very different person. But nonetheless, once a week I get to go out and I get to play with a great bunch of guys and have a fucking blast. That is something that I know saying yes to improves my life. It brings me joy. It brings me satisfaction. It brings me social engagement. It brings me these things that I don't find in other areas of my life. It's an important aspect of that. And yet, today, I woke up battered and bruised because I took a couple of plays like I was still Superman, like I was still fucking 18. I took essentially an AFL mark where I caught a long lob and the guy took my legs out from underneath me. I woke up today and I am fucking sore. So saying yes to basketball last night, saying yes to those things was the right decision. But I now have to deal with the consequences. I need to know what I am paying the price for. And so there were multiple opportunities today where I could have said no. Like, it hurts to bend over right now. My back is sore. My back is really fucking sore. And I'm going to have to go home. And I'm going to have to make a clear, definitive decision on the things I'm going to have to do to make sure I get myself back on top. So I have to say yes to proper things like foam rolling, like stretching, like sauna, these kinds of things to relax the tension out of my muscles so that I can continue to move forward. It would be so easy to go home and just spread out on the couch and do fucking nothing. Just do nothing all day. I have a clear day. My wife has taken the kids to their grandparents, and they're going to be gone all day. They're going to go have a fucking blast, and I have this time where I use it to work. I say yes to improving my life, but I also have the option to say yes to just vegetating all day, doing fucking nothing. So I have the opportunities here to make clear, definitive choices about, well, what matters to me, and choosing the right options onto that. So yeah, I have to make the right choices to make sure that I can continue to move forward. And moving forward means not taking it easy. It means not sedating. It means recovering properly and then continuing to work out, continuing to move forward, continuing to do the things that will let me be a man of my word. Let me be the man that I know I'm capable of being. And I had one of those options already today. So I had a gap and I was like, I could either use this time to knock off a weighted walk or a workout, or I could go out the back and I could take a nap, I could chill, I could sit on my phone, whatever it might be. So I went for my weighted walk because my body's not quite up to that workout yet. I'm going to have to go put in some time to get it back to a proper functioning level. But I still crossed something off the list. I chose something that was valuable. I had a choice. And when you say yes, you say no to other things. So you need to make sure that that yes, matters. That yes is valued. That yes is going to provide value to your life in some format. Because otherwise this is how you start down that slippery slope. It's how you progress down into something in a place you don't want to be. The path to hell is paved with good intentions. And the path to hell is paved with many, many yeses. Many yeses to things that you probably shouldn't have said yes to. Many yeses to things that, didn't serve you. That weren't in your best interest. And because you said yes to that, by default, you said no to other things that could have brought you value, that could have pushed you forward, that could have improved your life. And it's why a yes can be the most damaging thing, the most damaging word that you can utter, while a no can be the most powerful thing. You need to guard your yeses. You need to give them out sparingly. You need to save them for things that are going to matter, that are going to change the game, that are going to improve, that do matter in your life. Don't give them out freely and willy-nilly. You need to guard your attention. You need to guard your focus. You need to guard your time. And especially I find if you do have children, because you have limited time on that. You have limited time to donate and give out to other things. So you need to make damn fucking sure that the things that you do say yes to matter. That the things you do say yes to are going to move the needle. That they are going to provide the value that you are looking for. So if you are ready to say yes to you, to yes to the things that are going to improve your life, let's get you into Chasing Greatness Daily. Let's start that process. Let's begin you moving forward. So if you're ready for that, shoot me a message. Let's get you into Chasing Greatness Daily. As always, if you're not quite there yet, click the link in my bio, grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, as always, if this spoke to you, if you enjoyed it, if you know someone who needs to hear this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. But most importantly, hit that subscribe button, because the majority of people who are watching these are not subscribed. And I need your help to grow this, to get this out there. And my promise to you in return is, like everything in Chasing Greatness Daily, I will be here every single day, no matter what, rain, hail, and shine. I will be here to share from the front, share from my experiences, and share as I go through this process. So hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Until then.